G'day all, welcome back again to Dad vs. Son, Panzer Grenadier, the Kokoda Campaign Introductory Scenario 2. And we're about to go on with the 0945 turn, with the last turn at 11:15. The Australians are still on one initiative, they can't go any lower, as they've lost 6 step losses, which is 2 initiative points. The Japanese are still on initiative 4, they've lost 3 steps. But they still need to lose at least another 1 before their initiative starts to drop. Last time, when I pulled my blokes out of one of the assaults, I used the direct fire table instead of the assault combat table, which I should have used. And that was kindly pointed out to me by Camp Sawyer. So thanks very much, mate. I appreciate it. As you can see, as I keep saying, the Japanese juggernaut is just punching down through here at the moment. And the Australians have just got to keep them out of that village until the end. I don't see how they're going to do it, but we're trying to consolidate some of our troops now. Our initial strategy of a couple of different lines of defense didn't really work. The Japanese just bring too much firepower down on us. So we've still got this lieutenant here with an infantry platoon. He's come down from up this area and is moving down. I've got, come on, you can do it. Lieutenant and the sergeant in here with 2 infantry and a heavy machine gun platoon in jungle. So again, they're still blocking off here and here. So that's pretty good. They've got good firepower. Over here, we've got a lieutenant with a demoralized lieutenant and a demoralized heavy machine gun with 2 infantry platoons. So we need to try and sort them out. And I've moved the major over here to this reduced infantry platoon. Why, I don't know. Basically get him out of the firing line, because I don't want my forces decapitated. So he's moved down there, so this bloke just doesn't keep wandering off the board. I want to try and bring him back around. And the other lieutenant over here with the a demoralized reduced infantry platoon as well. The Japanese are up here. The captain's got a disrupted platoon and 2 reduced engineering platoons. The mortars haven't really done anything to date, though they may be able to bring some fire down this way starting this time. We'll just have to see. We've got this lieutenant here with the disrupted platoon and 2 good infantry platoons and a sergeant. So the sergeant's there to help with morale, which is great. A couple of good platoons there. The boss man, the lieutenant colonel, was 3 good platoons, one of them engineers. This lieutenant here, reduced infantry platoon, a good one, and an engineering platoon, and this guy over here with 2. So let's get into it. So initiative, we'll roll for the Australians first. There are 1 plus 6 is 7, and the Japanese are a 4 plus 1 is 7. So how did I get 4 plus 1 is 7? 4 plus 1 is 5. 7 minus 5 is 2. Halved is 1, so 1 activation for the Australians. 1 activation for the Australians. I think I need this done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to activate this lieutenant and this machine gun to try and recover. So the lieutenant first is an 8. Demoralized is 7, so he needs a 6 or less. Gets it and is now disrupted. And he is done. And the machine gun is a 7 minus 1 is a 6. I could have used this. I can use this guy. I don't need to activate him as far as I'm aware. So a 7 and 8 minus 1 is 7, so 6 or less. And he comes back as well, which is good. Righto. Whoops. And he's done as well. So that's our first activation for the Australians, and now it's the Japanese. And how do they want to go? My big trouble is line of sight. So as I was thinking before, I don't believe that there's a line of sight from here to here, because I've got jungle in this hex and I've got jungle in this hex. So that's blocking that line of sight. Same thing here. We've got jungle in this hex. We're all on the same elevation, so can't see anything. From the mortars themselves, same thing. Cross jungle, blah. Here, same thing. Now here is a different kettle of fish. He's on 60. But again, we're going through this jungle here, which is at the same elevation as this one. So I believe this would be a blind hex. So nothing to see there. Same here and same here. So I don't believe I've got line of sight that I can use the mortars, on, unless that way. Now this, I believe, is maybe light jungle. Not really. No. So I don't think I've got anything. So, sorry. So what are we going to do? These guys can't really do anything. I'm wondering if bringing some of these guys over to try and take them out. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to take the lieutenant and the 2 good platoons, and we're going to activate them to move. Now, this guy is going to move to here. And because this guy's demoralized, he can only defend, so he can't do opportunity fire or anything else. So he's gone his 2, he goes his 2, and he goes his 2. And they're ready to jump in there and maybe do something nasty next time. But they're cutting these blokes off from the rest of the force, which is the main. So that is the first Japanese activation. I think the lieutenant here needs to try and get this bloke moving. So we're going to activate these guys to do a recovery. So they're reduced, which is a 6. The lieutenant makes it a 7. But the demoralized brings it down to a 6. So it's going to be a 5 or less. 8 and fails. So they're both going to move back and away. So they're on the track. So that gives them 2 to there. And because they're on the track, they can move another 2. And they're both moving together. And they're done. So that is that. So that's the second Australian activation. Now we go for the second Japanese activation. And let's just stay simple. The sergeant here is going to try and fix this young fella up. So again, this guy is a disrupted unit. So he's going to try and recover. So he's a 9, a 10. So he needs a 9 or less and gets it. So this bloke is back, and both of these guys are done. And that's it. And then we go into the third Australian activation. So I think we need to sort this guy out. I can't do really any shooting or anything else. So this will be it. So we've got a demoralized infantry reduced platoon. So that's a 6, a 5. So he needs a 4 or less. He gets it. Well, how's your father? Righto. So both of these guys have activated as well. It's done. So back over to the third activation for the Japanese. I think we will do what? Let us, now these guys are on the track. We're going to activate these guys to move. We're going to move the reduced infantry platoon first. And they're going to go, now that will, they're going down the track. So they get 4 movement points, but we've got a change in elevation. So that's 2, 3. So that's as far as they can go. Can't come down another one. So I don't believe he can get opportunity fire there, and I don't believe he can get opportunity fire there. So we're done, we're done, we're done, we're done. And those guys have activated. Everybody's had 3 activations, so it's fog of war time. Nothing happening there. And we go to the Australian 4th activation. And I think we will move these guys. So they will go 2, 3, because onto a contour line and into there. So did we? Yeah, we did. Good. So fog of war again for the Japanese. Another 8, so nothing happening there. So their 4th activation. Let's see. Let's bring these guys down, because that means if these guys fire, then we've got a free run here. Yes. So we're going to activate these guys to move. They will go 2 to there. Do the Australians want to opportunity fire? I believe they do. So this guy has been activated. We will activate the lieutenant. Fire, fire, fire. So we have 4, 8, 10 fire factors, which puts us on the 7. So let's bring it over. So on the 7, he's in jungle, takes it down 1. They are adjacent, goes up 2, and its opportunity fire goes up 1. So we're on the 16 column. We get an 8 on the 16, which is a morale. So this guy here is a full strength, so he's a 9 morale. Gets a 5, and he's fine. And then the lieutenant and his offsider move down as well. And we fire on the 16 again. And we get a 6 this time, which is a morale again. So the lieutenant is a 9. So 9 or less. And a 9, a 10 with the lieutenant. And he gets it as well. So they're both fine. But they're fine. And they are done. I should have marked these guys as op fire, but I screwed up, so that's okay. I knew they were op fire. Oops. And they're done. So the Australians are next. What do they want to do? Do they want to do anything? Is the question. We've only got this mob here. So the answer is no, and we pass. So the Japanese are going to go. So they will activate. So fog of war roll, nothing happening there. We'll simply activate the colonel, lieutenant colonel and his mob. They're all going to move. Nobody can do anything. So we come down with the engineer, down with 2 platoons, down with the captain, down with the lieutenant colonel, and they're done. Back to the Australians. Do they want to do anything? The answer is no. So we're back to the Japanese again. Fog of war, nothing happening there. We'll move the captain, or will we? This guy is disrupted. Let's just we'll activate the stack. Oops, sorry. These 2 guys are fine. So they're just going to move forward. So this one will come to here. That's 2. Do I really want to do that? No, I don't. I'll just activate this guy to try and recover. So again, he's disrupted. So he is full strength though. So he is a 9, a 10. So he wants a less than 10, a 9 or less. Ouch! Didn't work. So just didn't work. So these guys are done. The others aren't doing anything. Back to the Australians, not doing anything. Back to the Japanese. These guys will move up. So they will go 2, 3 to here. Now, can they be seen? I don't really think so. Even though they're on a 60 and these are on a 40, you're still looking through these. So I don't believe they can. So, done. Back to the Australians. Doing anything? Do we pull back into here? If we pull back into here, we're dug in. We're on the same elevation as we were. No, I need to stop them getting in there. So that's the best place to try and stop them. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to stay there. So nothing for us. Over to the Japanese. 16, that's the end of it. They only had these guys to do anything with anyway. So that is the end of the turn. So just a little bit of moving around and a little bit of recovery work and stuff like that, and not much else. So clear the markers. Bring this over. Move it up to 1000 and save the game. And yeah, the chances of the Australians stopping these guys is basically zip, but we've got to keep going. We've got to go. We've got to do it. So that's that. So again, hopefully that's all good and no real mistakes. And I will see you next time. Take care.